It's the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback and Joe Flacco at quarterback. And we're sitting right now 6.5, 39 is the low in the market out there as far as total. Most every other book is sitting at 39.5. So yes, we have a sub 40 total here in week one. Steven, I'm going to start with you because we were talking a little bit before the hit the record button here. And you actually have a play in this one.
Yeah, hold your nose special. And I'm not alone at TheLines.com. If you go to our Gridiron Gamble podcast, if you go to Mo Nawara's write-ups, if you go to Eli Hershkovich's write-ups, this is a popular side this week. And it's the, God help us, the JETS at plus 6.5 here. So if you look at the way the Browns-Panthers spread closed last week, Panthers closed as a 1.5 point favorite. So basically a pick 'em on a neutral field with this version of the Browns. So now the Browns are a 6.5 point home favorite against the Jets. Are we to believe that the Panthers would be a 6 point home favorite against the Jets too? Like I patently reject that. And just overall, with the way the Browns want to play offense under Jacoby Brissett, I am never laying 6.5 points with this team. So I am taking a leap of faith. Joe Flacco is the quarterback. I don't love that, obviously, but the Browns offense to me was highly questionable to cover this spread, and I thought was pretty lucky to win the game last week, needing a 58-yard field goal. The Browns lost yards per play, 5.2 to 4.8. They allowed more than 7 yards per play in the second half to the Carolina Panthers. Brissett, less than 5 yards per attempt passing. Conklin on the offensive line, still limited. And the Jets were pretty stout against the run, believe it or not, against the Ravens last week, allowing 3 yards per carry on the ground to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So, give me the points here.
I'm going to go over to you here, Adam. There's no way I could back this Jets team. I mean, anytime you have to have Joe Flacco throw 59 times in a game, that's bad and you're not good. And I understand the whole yards per carry. One of the things you'll learn about Steven as we watch it over the course of the season, Steven likes to take spreads from the week before and try to make them comparatively to the week after, which has no correlation whatsoever, but Steven loves to do this. And so I don't care what the spread was last week in a game in week one that we knew nothing about any of these teams. And the books have made adjustments. Like this is complete nonsense. I can't.
Clearly they haven't. They're making the Browns a 6.5 point favorite against the team with Jacoby Brissett, the quarterback.
Well, right, but that's an testament to I think where the Jets stand in the grand scheme of things as opposed to anything else. But Adam, I'll go to you on this. I mean, like, listen. I understand what's going to happen here. It's going to be a gross, disgusting game. We're sitting literally one book out there at 39 right now on this total. But the Browns are just going to run the ball 40 times in this game. The Jets are not going to be able to stop them every time that they run the ball. It's just not going to happen. And I don't know where the points are going to come from on the Jets side as well. Flacco looked completely washed. It's not like we didn't know he was completely washed, but he looked completely washed last week as well. That offensive line has some real issues, and I am wondering how in the hell they're going to stack up against this Browns pass rush. Like, I think Flacco is going to be under duress all game long. I'm not betting it, but like, there's no way in hell you could catch me with a Jets bet in my account.
I like it when I get to find out all the interesting little dynamics of the podcast here as the new guy. And this guy likes doing it this way. This guy says there's no correlation. I'll say this about my feelings on the Jets and the Browns. The only thing I have an interest in, and I haven't played it yet, I'm still considering this as a first half under. If Joe Flacco is going to be potentially firing the ball in the air 50-odd times, look, no matter how many passes a bad quarterback throws, eventually a cornerback might fall down. Someone might blow an assignment. You could end up seeing some late kind of points to get over that 39. It's 19.5. in the first half. I don't know that the Jets will get a touchdown in the first half, right? I don't know that if they try to script anything, it's going to go anywhere. And as you said, Matt, Cleveland just wants to run the ball. And I think what they saw last week is only going to enforce the fact that they want to run the ball and run the ball exclusively. So if we can get the clock moving in this thing and get it going quickly in the first half, that's the way I would look at it. Other than that, I don't have any interest.
Last one I'll just bring up here, Stephen. 36.5 rush yards for Kareem Hunt. Like, I understand he's definitely operating as the number 2 behind Nick Chubb there. But again, if I think that there's going to be 40 rush attempts in this game, which I probably think there are, and 25 of them go to Chubb and 15 of them go to Hunt, I mean, he's going to get that fairly easily. Now, I could be wrong on the projections, and maybe they throw the ball. Who knows? Maybe they come out slinging. I mean, it's week 2. We have no idea what the tendencies are of these teams, but it seems like the path of least resistance is use that offensive line, use your 2 weapons at running back. And if that's the case, I mean, Kareem Hunt is going to get to 37 rush yards in this game.
While we're talking about things we've learned on this podcast, what I've learned over the past year is that Matt is much better at props than I am. I suck at props, and I will only be giving my last prop for the entire season on this podcast. I'm not doing it for the rest of the year. After a swift kick in the nuts week 1, that I still suck at props. So, but you know what? Is the Ravens offense better than this version of the Cleveland Browns offense? I think we'd all mostly agree yes there. And the Jets defense did hold the Ravens to 5.2 yards per play last week, a below average mark if you look at last season's yards per play averages. Eli notes in his best bets column that the Browns defense had the 10th highest EPA per carry in week 1, which was similar to its defensive output last year. So despite the talent, they're not putting up elite numbers on defense. So I don't think the Jets want Joe Flacco to throw it 50 plus times in a game. I think they were down 14 points halfway through the third quarter, and they just started airing it out. So I just think with the way these two teams want to play offense, we're in for a rock fight here, and it's a pretty good chance we stay within 1 possession.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. Even at 39, if I had to play the total, I'd play the under as well. Like, this has like 17-10 or 17-14 like written all over it, in my opinion. Just a disgusting, gross game.